Hello, this is David Corlett with VIPRE Security here to talk about Site Manager. Today we're going to talk about how you can easily manage quarantine threats. Let's start here on our threat dashboard, which shows a summary status of all the threats that are currently affecting your tenants. There's a lot of great information here, including info about the threats affecting the most devices and threats affecting the most sites. But for now, we're going to focus on this item at the top left, the quarantine threats. You can see that there are 275 total quarantine threats across 26 devices and 5 sites, but you can also click on these numbers to get a drill down and a complete list of the quarantine threats. Now this screen shows a list of all the threats for the past week, and the display is faceted so you can zoom in on just the threats of a particular severity, for example, severe threats, or category, or how they were found, for example, by scan, active protection, or by email. You can also click on any element in the list to get some more detail. For example, what file contained the threat and which sites are affected by this threat. Now, if you positively know that this is a real threat, then you can simply click on Delete from Quarantine. And what this will do is remove this file from the quarantine across all the sites and all the devices where this threat has been quarantined. And your job is done. But you can also click on the name of the threat itself to get more detail on when and where the threat has been seen and which sites and devices the threat is affecting. So for example, this threat showed up late last month and has started to show up just the last few days, but had some downtime in between. And you also see breakdowns of which sites the threat is found on, how it was found, and what actions were taken. Now, this display is also very interactive, so you can filter down based on detection source or what action was taken, and so on and so forth. So it allows you to explore exactly the data that you're seeing and aggregating across multiple sites. Now from here, we can even drill down directly on an individual device. And what you'll see here is that we're now logging in single sign-on to this site for Acme and drilling down right to the device itself, and we get a summary status for what's going on with this particular system. We can look at the scan history and see when scans were run and what was found as part of those scans. So here's a threat that the scan that found the threat. We can look at what's on the timeline, so we can look at the history of this device across all the different detection methods. And we can look at the devices that are in quarantine for this particular system. Now, from within this quarantine list, we can also get additional detail. Again, the files that it was found in, and there's an unquarantine button at this site-specific level. If you unquarantine a threat, this is releasing it from quarantine, which allows it back onto the system. We do this at the site level because we also probably want to add it to an exclusion list for this particular client so that when the threat's found again by the next scan, it isn't immediately quarantined again. So, VIPRE Site Manager Endpoint Cloud gives you visibility into the threats targeting your customer systems and allows you, in just a few clicks, to easily manage quarantine threats. And that's all for today. Thank you.